I love to use tripods. Oops, that is a wonderful way to blast ink places. I'll wash later. I thought this was dispensing a little bit more ink today, but that may have just been because I had a lot on there after my little spill here. Okay, I'm gonna go wash this ink off already because I'm feeling really self-conscious about it. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I went past that shop this morning and they advertised that they were the home of the root orb. And I hope that phrase sticks with me for a while because I find it kind of funny. And it makes me think of the like the way banana trees grow. There's this big thing underground that like you could describe as a root orb, but it's actually called a corm, like a C-O-R-M, which is probably a funnier word than root orb, if I'm being honest. Too thirsty again. I am looking at chat occasionally, if anybody wants to mouth off. Could talk about roots or orbs or corms. Or the Big Mike banana. The banana that's bound for extinction and why everybody has these Cavendish bananas that are not great. Supposedly. I don't remember if I've ever had a Big Mike banana. I think it's a fungus that the Big Mike isn't resistant to. Corm feels like such a Tim and Eric word. Like there's too many vowels and, I don't know, sounds in it. See if I can steal some ink from the R just to finish that one letter. On that top stroke on the C right there, and I may move the camera here in a second to point it out better. Like I keep having one of the fins on the pen deviate a little bit. And I'm not seeing it with normal letters just because I'm doing this like Gothic style curve that way, I guess. Okay, now I'm going to be spending a lot of time looking at chat. So, actually, I'll probably just pick you up. So the stroke right there, where it's kind of like gray, and I don't know how well this is going to show up with you know, MPEG artifacts and MPREG artifacts. Okay, so the chat is, Inkstream rule, you can only chat with viewers by writing responses on paper. No, that's not a rule. Make your own stream. But yeah, the way the like tines of the pen separated on that stroke right there, I'm not sure what's causing that. It is hard keeping all this stuff like registered so I have my straight lines. I'm trying to get the ink a little bit away from the tip, see if that affects things. It's a smoother start to that letter. Getting more ink down there, gonna tilt it back. Okay, that feels like it's working. Like this, the mid stroke on that T, or the cross on that T, went a little long in a way I appreciate. So I wonder if, okay, so it looks like there's, I've also got it lined up so you can see. Like there's a gap between the spring on the nib and the main piece. Let me grab this one. So you can see like little airspace on the clean nib. I'm just holding my fingers, but the other one, that's filled with ink right now. So I wonder if I can write the whole corm that way. Does not bode well. Well, maybe. Cool, I am happy with that. I'm going to switch to a Gothic style, do the old Gothic dance. Nib discipline. Yeah, the downstroke on that left O is a little bit off. That second O I'm really happy with though. The showy Gothic O and the Gothic C are my favorites. Oh yeah, the Gothic lowercase O's. They do look like the Doom logo. I like Doom. Low-key, it's probably one of the games I played most of last decade. I guess not low-key, I've talked about it a lot. I'll write the Orm and see if I have less ink to finish that C with. Okay, that's gonna look really uneven when I'm done. Shift you around a bit. That felt like it came out really light, but I see some ink, but also bubbles in the nib gap there. Yeah, I think it's kicked. Oops, too much. Looks more like root DRB, like I'm using that weird module in Ruby. It's been around for like 15 years or something. I think I tried to use that the ad agency I used to work at for some fool ass shit retrospectively. Make this corm extra big. with an uneven baseline as well. Make it look like the LaTeX logo. Nobody correct me how I pronounce it. It's an unpronounceable word. And don't lie and tell me Donald Knuth told you how to pronounce it or wrote in a book about it how to pronounce it. I started looking at the Batard hand in the book again. Although, it works a lot better with ink. That's me when I'm playing Splatoon. Works a lot better with ink. Very, very showy on that one. I'm choosing to say it's a metaphor for how roots go under everything else. The root orb. I still can't believe they have a sign that says home of the root orb. It's completely baffling to me. And it's not like a temporary sign on a chalkboard or anything. It's like stenciled on the window. I think what I'm doing is I'm fidgeting any ink store. I'm trying to get the ink to behave after I remove the pen from the ink by, releasing it a bunch on the edge of the vial. Yeah, I called it a vial. But that's also just kind of sapping the supply, so I can't write very much. And maybe it is supposed to go on thick like that. It almost certainly is. Home of the world's best root orb. My name is Phineas, and I sell the world's #1 root orb. Root orb, it does a body good. Caveat, body must be a plant. Root orb floats. It almost certainly does. I mean, they're made of wood. Let a little of the ink get away from the tip here. So the way the book has the O is very, very chaotic almost, just really like that. And that's, I don't know, I'm not super comfortable with doing that. Like, that's not me, like, dunking on people who are, like, comfortable by things, but, like, I don't know. It's not a way I like to move my hand, I guess. Good stuff. O's are supposed to be orbital. Oh, wow. Thank you. I'm just going to fill this sheet with this one. I'll write 2 sheets today. We'll deal. There's a weird flourish at the start of capital C's that I can't wrap my head around, too. So I'm going to break kayfabe here and show you the book. Is it the... How close can I get before things totally defocus? Light always helps. So is it the first, second, third, or fourth stroke there? Keeping in mind I don't really want to touch the book because I have like ink on my fingers. So the first stroke is the one that starts at the top and goes around, like the main body of the C. The second one, it looks like, is the downstroke that, you know, as somebody who just learned normal cursive, like feels just like flourish. The third stroke is the top of the C, and then the fourth stroke is the little dot in the middle. Okay, the third stroke, so the downstroke. Is that in the bastard hand, or like Gothic, or some other one? No, that is absolutely not a good place for... So I'm going to pull out the Gothic instructions here. That is minuscule. Not the minuscule font, it's just not very big. So this is the sheet of like Gothic calligraphy that comes with the Pilot's Parallel. And that's the C. And again, it's like the first stroke is the main body, 2 is the top, 2 is the top, but turns into the flourish in the middle. And 3's the remainder. Canonical historical reason for those big dots in the middle of many of these capitals in Bitard. And you can kind of see those similar flourishes in the like the G, the H, the C. That's a really good question, and I don't know the answer. With that said, like reading about the shape of letters is a wonderful thing to do, and unironically, like I enjoy it a lot. So I might look that up if you remind me when I'm, you know, at a computer and not, you know, covered in ink. Look at it. It just gets everywhere. Dip pens, man. I am happy with how thin I got that particular stroke right there. Root orb. Everything's going to get so bad towards the bottom of this paper as I like lose control of where the paper is on the table. This R needs some like teeth on its backside, like a Stegosaurus or that other dinosaur. I'm not qualified to be an uncle. I don't know all the dinosaur names anymore. Considerable angst from that realization. Won't know what to do if I end up at the Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller, Alberta. Remedial Khan Academy dinosaurs. Like a Khan Academy for dinosaurs, but like it's very serious, but it's all like third grade level dinosaur knowledge. Like talking to somebody who is like, I don't know, talking about it like it's a Ruby on Rails Academy, but it's for like dinosaurs. Bro, you don't need to spend $10,000 on a 10-week course. You could just go to Khan Academy and learn about all the dinosaurs for free. They got videos and everything. Okay, that is the dip pen for today. Yeah. Good stuff. Just covered in ink like I'm losing at Splatoon. Thanks, folks. Let's go big today. See, I think this has still got purple ink in it. It's a good color. Yeah, doesn't it? It's like a shockingly simple purple even. Like it just looks black over there because it, came out more at the beginning. Correct that one, even though it's extremely obvious where I corrected it. This pen's kind of hard because like to write really big requires, more control. And I don't know if I have more control. I like Bad Religion too much. Greg Garaffin sends me $1 every time I make a Bad Religion reference. Oh, I was going to write Corm, not Orb. while I'm here, oh, look at that. Like, that is a good save. Show me that replay. There was like ink piled up at the bottom of that stroke, and by like making, I lifted the pen, but because I like got down and like connected it in time, like I was able to move the pile down to the bottom of the stroke where it would normally be anyways. Uh, real pen nerd hours over here. That is exciting though, like, well, no, it's exciting for me. Don't like the way I curved that. Quorm. Who named this thing? Is that, like, that doesn't even feel like an old Latin word or something. ESPN style handwriting replays. Okay, I'm gonna shrink the pen a little bit here. Arthur C. Quorm, or the one from the Swedish guy's character from the it's your new Cinco Boy. I'm Korb. The one Swedish actor, he plays Carl Hungus in The Big Lebowski, and V-Dub in the Volkswagen GTI commercials. Yeah, they hired a Swedish, like Volkswagen hired a Swedish guy to be German. Yeah, Peter Stormare. Peter Cormair. I'm going to be coasting off your jokes all night. I like that I got the bottom of the T almost collinear with the R from the root. All work and no play. That T should have been lower. It looks really weird from the angle I'm sitting at. On the bottom of that O, I dislike intensely. That B, though. Okay, I'm going to continue down gauging here. That was with the Emerald of Kivor ink. Still the best, I think. And you'll see it more as it dries. Welcome to my ink drying stream. Yeah. Root orb. That O should have been a little bit higher. I always get spoiled when I've spent a lot of time in Illustrator. I always want to fix things. But nope, this is literally ink. Nice. I wonder if C, like how that became the standard middle initial. I'm going to start walking that back immediately because Kermit the Frog, his middle initial is T. And if Kermit the Frog is substandard, I don't want to be standard. Cool. I'm really happy with how this page went. I think it's time for the speed round. We'll do the Lamy Safari with the Pilot Oroshizuku Konpeki blue ink on board. What was the name of the place that had the root orb anyways? Was it like Precious Creation? Creative? I don't know. Welcome to Precious Moments. Home of the little terrifying root orb doll. Creative Gardens. For all your wasp egg needs. And just for contrast, I'm going to do the Lamy necks with 2 X's, no matter how often I desperately wish it was 3. Medium nib with the normal Lamy blue ink. And it probably won't show up on this camera in this lighting, but trust me, it does look different. So yeah, that is the handwriting for the day. I'm pretty happy with how it went. The I found out that you don't just, when you're messing with the vial, you don't just like, yeah, get up. Like uncapped, you don't just drop it like that because that does project ink everywhere. And yeah, I guess the other lesson, or one of the other lessons, if you're dipping the dip pen in, you're just gonna get your fingers inky. Cope. What else? So with the dip pen work today, learned a little bit more about how to, like, tilting the pen around will keep the ink flow more natural. I think I've been like scraping excess ink off on the inside of the vial, like whenever you see me fidget with it a bunch over here whenever I could just be dipping. I seem to be like trying to never ever drip, and I'm like removing too much and it doesn't ride evenly. And as I get that more under control, things tend to look better. How dry is this? This is dry and shiny. But yeah, you can see, or I feel like on the other side, yeah, the texture of the ink absolutely does come through because this paper is really thin. I should try this on my like printer paper that's kind of glossy. Once I switch to the parallels, the purple color is great. The 6mm is great. It's just too big to write much with. The 3.8mm, this stuff looks good as hell always. Not a huge fan of the shape on that R. This R, I do like how I curved that down enough. The Batard O, which you see right there between the N and the P. I haven't like mastered that shape yet. I need to continue working on it, the capital O. That one in particular makes me feel bad. Going down, I like that a lot. And then in the speed round, yeah, mostly pretty happy with that. The color that probably isn't showing through on your screen is this one is a lot more blue than that. There's almost a red hint to the Lamy blue. But yeah, I am happy with this. Thanks everybody, and enjoy the